my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am Casharee, and here on my channel you will find all things related to hair, protective hairstyles, nails, fashion, lifestyle, and as of today, entrepreneurship. As you can see, the title of this video says I will be sharing my story from my first year in business and the top 5 lessons that I learned this first year, because I have made a lot of mistakes. So I originally always plan on talking about entrepreneurship on my channel, making videos like this, but in my mind originally I plan to start making entrepreneurship videos like this once I hit like 6 figures in my business or hit a certain level of success in my business. That in my mind, that's when I will start sharing my story on YouTube and things like that. Until recently I thought, okay, I just hit my 1-year mark and I have learned so much in this first year. I could share what I've learned, and this can help other aspiring entrepreneurs and prevent other people from making the same mistakes that I did, and to know to take certain things into consideration that I did not know going into business. So I said, girl, let me start sharing my journey now. Ain't no need to put it off and wait. I'm gonna take y'all along this journey and this ride with me. So here we are. So if you are not familiar with me and my business, I did launch an online clothing boutique January 19th of last year. So I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary last month. Super excited, super happy. And in celebrating that 1-year anniversary, I kind of just started to think about my whole first year and pinpoint where I went wrong, pretty much. Like, which was in not like a whole lot, but it was a lot. It was enough. Like, some things I'm like, girl, you should have known better. Why didn't you know that? But you don't know what you don't know, I guess, you know. So I'm not gonna beat myself up about my mistakes that I made anymore. I'm just gonna share them with y'all so that y'all won't do the same thing. So like I said, I originally launched January 19th of last year, and the same day that I launched, I did have a launch party to celebrate. So my first month in sales and in sessions to my website, which sessions just means that's how many times a visitor came to my website, I wrote it down. I do have my notebook here, so if you catch me looking down, I'm just trying to make sure that I keep it straight and hit all the points that I need to hit. So the first month I had over 1,800 sessions to my site, and I did a total of over $1,200 in sales my very first month. Super happy about that, super exciting, because that's not, you know, very often that you can say your first month opening up your business you made over $1,000. So super exciting. So all of that money was not made online. So I did have my lunch party, and at my lunch party I was selling some of my t-shirts at the party, so my friends and family could see, you know, what product I'm selling. And I am fortunate enough to have super supportive friends and family. Like, I love my friends and family so much because they always come through with the support, and they are just the bomb.com. So shout out to all my family and my friends if y'all watching. But anywho, so at the party I end up making $500 or a little over $500 in sales, and online I end up making $750 in sales that first month. So combine that together, I end up making over $1,200 in sales my very first month. Super happy. So I went from opening my virtual doors, making $1,200 in sales, over 1,800 sessions and visitors to my site, till the next following month. Each month it just started to like just trickle down and decline, like the amount of sessions that I was getting to my site and the amount of sales that I was getting. Like, it just started to decline to where by March, is it March? Yeah, I think it was like by March or May, I was only getting like, I think that particular month I had got like 1 sale and only like 300 sessions to my site. 1,800 sessions, over $1,000 in sales, to now 300 sessions and 1 sale that entire month. That's not like, oh, 1 sale for the week. That was 1 sale I got the entire month. So at this point I'm like, okay, figuring out, okay, what do I do? What's the next move? Like, how do I promote? How do I get more visitors? How do I get more sales? Like all of that. And it's at this point that I kind of realized, like in hindsight, that I didn't have a thorough plan in place to ensure that I had immediate success with my business. Meaning, although I wrote out like a business plan and everything, it wasn't thorough enough, like especially on the marketing side, to ensure that I was going to have continuous sales coming in. I was going to have continuous exposure. It just wasn't thorough enough as it should have been. And I end up realizing, or I learned, that I was missing a vital piece of the puzzle on my website. Super vital piece of the puzzle on my website, which was also holding me back. And yeah, so let me just tell y'all what the piece was. The piece that I was missing on my website was the Facebook pixel. So if you are not familiar with what a Facebook pixel is, it is basically a piece of code that you add to your website, and having that Facebook pixel code on your website is allowing your site to pretty much track everyone that comes to your site and the behavior that each person takes that comes to your site. So it's gonna show you how many visitors you had, how many people added to cart didn't purchase, how many people initiated checkout didn't complete and abandoned cart, how many people visited a certain web page. It's going to show you a bunch of different things for you as the business owner to be able to go back and retarget those same customers who may have taken certain actions on your site. So it's like they took an action on your site, they showed that they are a little interested in your product, but they didn't want to go ahead and make the whole commitment and convert and make the sale. So you can actually, as a business owner, run ads to retarget that customer, because you know that they are a little bit interested because they did look at this product or because they did take this action on your site. So it's just easy to keep track of customers and retarget for those customers so that they can end up being actual customers. Well, I should say retarget to those potential customers so that they can convert into customers. That's what I should say. So yeah, I realized that I was missing that from my website, and the way that I realized it, or I was actually told, was because I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I saw an ad for a marketing agency, and they were offering a free consultation call for, you know, businesses who are looking to grow and expand, all this type of stuff. And like I said, at this time, I was like, sessions were dwindling down, sales were definitely dwindling down. And I'm like, okay, what I need to do. And it was a free consultation, so I'm like, sign me up. So I signed up for the call with the people, and although they were super expensive, so I did not hire them, but the guy was so nice. He just was offering tips for my site. Once he, you know, looked at it and he was asking me different questions, he just was telling me different tips that I needed to do to improve it. And one of the main tips that he told me was the Facebook pixel. That he asked me if I had it on my site, and I was like, no, what is that? And then he told me what it was, and he said, that's the first thing you need to do is add that to your site ASAP. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I look it up and I, you know, see what it is, because I know he told me about it, but I also I just Google everything, y'all. So I Googled it as well, and I, of course, immediately added it to my website, and I'm just like, dang, all of those people who took actions on my website for the first, 4 or 5 months that I had been in business, they were just lost in the shuffle. Like, I wasn't tracking those people, but that's neither here or there, because you can't undo the past. You just know to do better once you know better. So I immediately added that to my site, and when I added it to the site, I ended up still kind of being in the market to hire someone, like a marketing person, to kind of help me figure out what to do to get the exposure that I needed to build brand awareness so that they can convert into sales. And also, in hindsight, I realized that when I went into business, I was going into business with the mindset that the majority of people are like me when it comes to shopping. And I am an impulse shopper. Like, I'm just impulsive like that when it comes to shopping. I can wake up, have no intention on buying anything that day, come across something on Instagram, like an ad for a product that I like, and end up buying it. Like, I'm that type of impulsive. And it's not like I have to do any long hard thinking and deliberating on if I should buy it, if I should not buy it. As long as it looks like a reputable company, as long as it looks legit, and as long as I like it, I'm gonna buy it. And it's not necessarily the best way to be, especially if you're trying to budget and things like, so I am working on that. But I feel like I went into business with that mindset, thinking that people are like me. If I'm offering a product, that I'm offering these clothes, it's trendy, it's stylish, I know it's in style because I see a bunch of different women wearing similar clothing, so I know it's like a product that is in demand. So I'm thinking that women will see it and they'll naturally buy it automatically. And that is not how business works at all. Statistics show that it takes a consumer 7 times to see a brand before they convert and become an actual customer. So that means a consumer will need to see the same brand at least 7 times before they go ahead and make the purchase. 7 times. And here I am. I'm on the other end of the spectrum because I see the product once. If I like it, I get it. But that's the thing. I was going into my business with my mindset and not thinking of it as a universal or business view, because or what the statistics show with how consumers operate. I didn't look at it that way, which I should have, but I just didn't. So that's another thing that I should have taken into consideration, not assuming that because it's a cute clothing item that it will automatically be bought, no problem, or automatically pop, no problem, because that's not the way the minds of majority consumers work. So anywho, so I ended up coming across another lady who was like a business consultant slash ad person type of thing. So I ended up hiring her and doing her course, where it's supposed to have taught me how to operate or how to do Facebook ads and Google Shopping and Google Ads and just like business advice. So I had her for like a month, and when I was working with her, that's when I actually started running my Facebook ads, because she introduced me. Now that I had the Pixel, I actually started to run Facebook ads. And after like a month, I realized that I didn't really see any real benefit in having her. Although she opened my eyes, like, you know, got my feet wet to the Facebook ads, it wasn't really, the money that I was paying, it just didn't seem beneficial. So I stopped working with her after a month, and then I ended up coming across another actual Facebook ads course, where it was just an in-depth course on how to run Facebook ads yourself instead of having to hire a marketing agency or hire anybody else to run your ads, teaching you as the business owner how to run Facebook ads. So I bought that course, and that's the course where it really taught me the ins and outs of Facebook ads and how to properly run them, and how to retarget previous people who came to your website or who took different actions on your website. Prior to that, I had no knowledge of that or how to properly do that or anything. For a whole month, I was running Facebook ads. Like when I was with the other lady, I was running these Facebook ads for a month straight. Whole month straight. Y'all, I lost, let me tell y'all the exact amount of money that I lost, because I wrote it down. I spent $861 on Facebook ads in 1 month. Now, it's okay if you spend $800 on Facebook ads and you make back $2,000, or you make back, you know, you make a profit. Like you spent a certain amount, but you made your money back plus some. No, that was not my case at all. I spent $861 in 1 month of Facebook ads, and from those ads, it's shameful to even say, y'all. But I'm gonna keep it all the way real, y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. I made 2 sales from those Facebook ads when I was working with the first lady. 2 sales. Now, y'all know those 2 little sales did not equate to $800 or nowhere near $800. So I wasted so much money. Now, I do blame myself for wasting so much money because I was not watching my ads. Well, I wasn't knowledgeable enough in how to run Facebook ads, for one. Although the lady, the first lady I was working with, like, she taught like the basics of Facebook ads, but obviously she wasn't, which is why I only worked with her for a month, because obviously she wasn't teaching me enough, because I was letting these ads run for so long and they weren't beneficial. They were not working. They weren't doing anything. Mind you, the lady was looking at my ads I was running, so she was supposed to be helping me. But anywho, long story short, I let those ads run all that time for a full month without knowing how to properly read my dashboard, without knowing how to properly analyze the results of my ad, without even watching the amount of money that I was spending. Like, although I know for each ad that I was doing, I was only spending $5 a day, but if you are running multiple ads and you are spending $5 a day on those multiple ads, of course, all those $5 are going to add up. And that's exactly what happened. And I wasn't keeping track of how long I was letting the ad run. It's like I was just letting the ad run. I don't know. It's like, girl, you should have known to watch these ads. Like, you don't just let something keep running that's not working. But that's what I did. And I wasted a lot of money. So don't be like me and waste money on Facebook ads that are not working. When you see, and when I actually took the next course where I actually learned things about Facebook ads, that's one thing that he did teach in that course, was how to analyze the results. Like, when I had my one-on-one call with him, he taught me how to analyze my results for the ads, so that I know, like, if I see actions and people are going through my sales funnel, then it's actually working. So it might end up, conversions might end up coming from this ad because people are actually going through your sales funnel. But if people are barely even clicking, or if people are clicking but it's no action going through your sales funnel, meaning adding to cart, initiate checkouts, and all that good stuff, then it's not really working. So you don't keep the ad running. Like, you turn that off and you turn a new one on. And because pretty much when you are first starting to run Facebook ads, in the beginning, it's all testing. Like, nothing is concrete, nothing is set in stone. You really don't know what's gonna work yet until you test stuff, like test different images, test different copy, test different audiences. Like, it's just a bunch of testing. So that first month where I spent all that money, that $800 on testing, because it didn't give me any sales, but it did give me a lot of visitors to my website, of course, because I mean, it was multiple ads run out for this long amount of time. So of course, like, people were coming to my website, but it just wasn't converting into sales. I was just getting views, and I'm not even sure if I had those ads optimized for conversions. They might have only been optimized for add to carts. I'm not even sure, but I do know in the beginning, one of my ads I was running was like optimized for add to carts and not even for conversions. And when I say that, if you're not familiar with Facebook ads, I'm not gonna go into this, I'm just gonna touch on it, because Facebook ads, that's a whole nother beast in itself. But when you are running Facebook ads, you pretty much choose the goal for that ad. So you can choose for people to view the content, for people to add to cart, for people to convert, make a purchase. So you just choose your goal. So in the beginning, I think some of my ads were optimized for add to carts and not even optimized for conversions. So if it's optimized for add to carts, that Facebook ad is going to try to get as many potential consumers to do just that, add something to cart on your website. If it's optimized for conversions, that Facebook ad is going to work to try to get it in front of as many people as it think will convert into a sale. So that's how the whole goal and optimization of Facebook ads kind of works. So yeah, so once I took the course, that's when I learned how to retarget, because mind you, spending all that money in those Facebook ads, I built up quite a good amount of add to carts and quite a good amount of initiated checkouts, which I didn't even know beforehand. I didn't know anything about the whole retargeting aspect of like getting ads back in front of people who showed a little interest. I didn't know anything about that until this course, which taught me all about that. So I'm like, oh my God, I got all these people. I got over 300 people who added a cart within this amount of time frame. I need to get an ad in front of these people. So that's when I started working ads properly, I would say. And that was probably what, August, September, something like that. That's when I started running ads properly. So again, when it comes to Facebook ads, make sure you know how to read your results and turn ads off that are not working, and pay close attention to what you're spending so that you don't overspend and go over your budget, because it's just, budgeting is good. Like, don't make my mistake. So, next major thing that I learned about was pop-up shops. So last year I did a total of 4 pop-up shops. And if you're not familiar with what a pop-up shop is, it is when you pay for a table at an event so that you can sell your products, pretty much in a nutshell. So I did a total of 4, and fortunately each pop-up shop that I did, I at least broke even, which means I at least made my money back that I spent on the pop-up shop, fortunately. Now, of course, you always want to make a profit, but you at least want to break even so that you're not losing money. So luckily for all of my pop-up shops, I at least broke even. Like, some of them I was like right at the break even line, but I at least broke even. The most that I ever made at a pop-up shop was in profit was $650. So that was pretty exciting to me. $650 at pop-up shop. And that was one of my first pop-up shops too that I made $650. So one of the things about the pop-up shops is you need to, if you decide to do them, because I know a lot of boutique owners or online stores don't even choose to do pop-up shops. But for me, I thought they were a good opportunity to build brand awareness, because as a brand new business, no one knows what Cash Queen is. No one's heard of this. They don't know that I exist. So I was always, looking for different events that I could vend at to get my name out there. So in selecting events, you need to be very strategic on the type of event you select to vend at, and make sure your target audience is going to be at that event, and take into consideration if your target audience is going to be at that event, are they going to be at that event to shop? I learned, because although there might be a huge event with a lot of people there and your target audience might be there, if they're not there to shop, you're not going to get many sales, because they're there but they didn't come to shop. They might have came for something else, because that's what happened with one of my pop-up shops. Huge event here in Atlanta, and it was a women's event. So of course, like, my target market was there. Like, I'm thinking, oh, I am about to sell out of everything. That's how I went into the event, like thinking that I'm about to hit big at this event. But no, that was not the case. Although, like I said, I ended up breaking even, and although it was a ton of people there, it was a 2-day event. It was a Saturday and a Sunday. It was a ton of people there both days. It was a lot of people there Saturday, and Sunday it was even more people. But what I realized was, although it was a whole bunch of people there, those people were not there to necessarily shop. The event had a good amount of celebrity speakers at the event. So I feel like a lot of those people who came to the event were there to see their favorite celebrities, were there to just see celebrities and hear their speeches and what they had to say. They weren't there to spend money. And if they were there to spend money, they might have just been prepared to spend like, $5-10 here, not actually buy clothing and buy, the items that I'm selling. Like, I'm not selling $5-10 items. I'm selling, 20 plus and above. These are whole outfits and things. So yeah. So make sure you take that into consideration, because that's not one thing that I even thought of before doing events. I just assumed that if it's a large amount of people that's going to be there and your target market is going to be there, then boom, you're going to get a bunch of sales. No, you have to think about, okay, target market's going to be there. Why are they there? Are they going to be shopping? Are they going to be open to shopping? Like, you just gotta, I'm not saying it's not possible for an event to, you know, that's not intended for shopping to not end up getting sales, because like I said, I got sales, I made my money back, and that booth was super expensive. I guess because it was 2 day and it was such a huge event, that booth itself was $1,000. So luckily I made my money back, but I didn't see any large profit like I expected to, because like I said, I think majority of people were just there for celebrities. So say that to say this, just be mindful when selecting vendor events and be expected to put in a whole lot of work, to say the least. When I tell you vending at events is exhausting, I'm not even kidding. Like, each time I have been a vendor at an event, that next day I literally sit home chilling, doing nothing, to just rest and relax, because I was just that tired. Because not only am I loading up all this merchandise to take to the event, and I'm actually have to, you know, be personable, speak to potential customers and engage, tell you about my brand, what I am, what I represent, who I am, all that good stuff, make sales, be happy-go-lucky, and everything that doesn't sell at the event, gotta load all that back up in the car and bring that back home. And once you bring it back home, you gotta put it back where it's supposed to go. So it's like, it's so much work. So much work. So that's another thing to keep in mind when doing pop-ups. I would suggest to select a certain quantity of items that you are going to take to sale. Don't try to take your whole store like me. Like, I haven't taken literally like everything that I sell to a pop-up, but I have always, for each pop-up I've taken, well, except for one, because I was only selling shirts at one, but all the other pop-ups where I was actually selling the different clothing that I sell as well, I feel like I was overly ambitious in my expectations, and I didn't want to miss out on potential sales. So because I feel like I didn't want to miss out on sales, on not having a bunch of different options, I was taking too many items. So when that stuff didn't sell at that particular pop-up, I had to load the car back up with all the excess stuff and bring it back home. It was just a lot. So that's why I say I would suggest to just select a certain quantity of items that you sell, that you plan to sell at that actual event, so that you won't have that problem of loading a ton of stuff back up if it doesn't sell. Because of course it's better to sell out anyway and be out of stock than having to load the car back up with stuff that you didn't sell. I learned that now. Mind you, after my last pop-up, that's when it clicked in my brain, after my 4th pop-up, that, girl, you are taking way too much stuff. You need to scale it back. And that's when I decided that I'm gonna take a break from pop-ups anyway, just because it's exhausting. And like I said, I was pretty much just breaking even. So all the work that I was putting into the pop-up, with the packing and the work in the pop-up and loading the car back up and putting it back where it's supposed to go, and being out there for 8 to 11 hours, it was just exhausting, and it just didn't make sense for me to keep doing that right then. So that's why I just decided to take a little break from pop-ups. I will probably do another pop-up in the future. I know there's one in particular that I would like to do, but definitely taking a break from the pop-ups, because it's just a lot of work. And if you have a pop-up too, I highly suggest you have at least one other person there to help you, because it can get overwhelming. Luckily for me, for each of my pop-ups, I've always had my sister or my mom or both. They're helping me with the pop-up, which has been super helpful. And it's only been one that I actually worked by myself, and it's just because I went out of town, and I went to my alma mater's homecoming, Albany State University, and I was one of the vendors on the yard this past homecoming. So of course my mom and my sister wasn't about to go down to Albany with me, so I did that one on my own. And whew, that was one crazy weekend, because like I said, after the pop-ups, I'm already tired and exhausted from being out there selling stuff. But for homecoming, I'm there to sell make some money, but I'm also there to have a little fun too. It's homecoming. So not only I went out Friday night, woke up Saturday morning to set up my table to vend on the yard, and Saturday night, of course, once I left, packed up my stuff on the yard to go back to the hotel, I immediately just started getting ready for the night and go to the party that night. So that weekend, ooh, I overextended myself. I was so exhausted. So exhausted. But it was cool though because it was a good time. So yeah. So that's just the little overall story for how my first year went, with just the major things that I learned and how to do better. And I don't know if I did mention, but once I did add the Facebook Pixel, started doing the Facebook ads, I did notice my sessions started to go back up. I started to get additional sales and things like that. So I'm still just working now to keep a strategy in place and follow a routine to just keep things going at the right moment. Let me recap the top lessons, because I just want to tell you my story first of overall the major things that I went through, or experiences that I had, and light bulb moments, and girl, you should have knew better moments. So that's what those were. So to recap, the first lesson is the Facebook Pixel. Before you open your virtual doors to your online store, make sure you have the Facebook Pixel on your website, because yeah, I guess I was watching the wrong people on YouTube when before I launched, I caught myself watching a whole bunch of videos of other entrepreneurs that trying to, to kind of help me out when I got ready for my store, but nobody ever mentioned a Facebook Pixel. So I'm like, in all the articles that I was reading, nobody mentioned a Facebook Pixel. So I guess I was just reading the wrong articles, listening to the wrong YouTube videos, I guess, or they just weren't in depth enough like I needed. Like someone like me who had zero prior knowledge of e-commerce, zero prior knowledge of entrepreneurship, zero background in any of this. Like I'm pretty much figuring this out as I go along, like for real. Just what it is. I don't know any other entrepreneurs that I could reach out to, like, hey girl, what did you do for your business when you saw this happening? I didn't have that, and I met a few people now that I can connect with, luckily, but last year I didn't have that. So it's like everything I was doing was just trial and error. So add your Facebook Pixel before you open your virtual doors. That's the number one lesson. Number two lesson is your Facebook ads. Make sure you watch your dashboard and learn how to read your analytics so that you know what to stop, what to continue, when to stop, when to continue, all of that good stuff. And if you don't, because Facebook ads can be a little intimidating, and it can be a lot when you're just looking at it for the first time. So which is why I chose to actually get a course to teach me how to do it, because I was just lost and I didn't want to continue to do Facebook ads blindly, because that's pretty much what I was doing the first month or two before I took this second course. I was pretty much just doing it blindly, just doing it because I hear Facebook ads work, but it's not working for me. But so yeah, do Facebook ads if you see fit for your business, but watch your analytics, your dashboard, all that good stuff. And if you don't feel like you can figure it out on your own, invest in a course, because it's so many courses out there that teaches you how to properly learn Facebook ads and how to properly run them yourself. And some of the courses can be pretty pricey. Like the course that I bought was $1,500, but I do know it's other cheaper courses out there too. Not all Facebook ads courses are that expensive. So just find one that fits in your budget and take that if you see fit for your business. Now, number 3 top lesson is have a social media strategy in place for your business. I found I wasn't posting enough. I would forget to post. Time would go by and I'm like, oh, it's been a week. I need to post something on my page, because I didn't have a social media strategy in place. I now use apps to auto post my stories and auto post my posts, so that I don't have to manually do it each time, because I got a lot going on, and this is a one-woman show over here. So it's so easy to let things slip between the cracks, which you cannot afford as a new business owner trying to grow and expand your brand, you can't afford to have things slip through the cracks. So that's why now I have a strategy in place where I call Sundays my social media Sundays, because that is the day that I actually sit down and plan out my entire post for the week. So I highly suggest that you come up with some type of social media strategy to implement for your brand. Number 4 is apps for your website. Now, I didn't touch on this prior, but when I launched my store, I use Shopify for my site. When I launched, I had like one app. I had MailChimp, which is the email service provider that I use. That was like the only app. Yeah, I think that was the only app that I had on my site, was MailChimp. Because once again, I did not know that I should be researching different apps to add to my site to enhance my site. I wasn't aware of that. So I'm telling y'all, now that I know, you make sure you research or look up whatever top, like you can put in Google like best apps for whatever, what is it called? Whatever niche you're in. Look up the top apps for whatever niche you're in, whatever you're selling, that will enhance your site. Like fear of missing out apps. It's an app for literally everything. Fear of missing out apps, scarcity apps, free shipping bars. It's just an app for everything. So I would highly suggest you look up and see for your business what apps will be beneficial to add on your website to enhance your site and entice customers to go ahead and purchase for you, and to build that trust, to let customers know that you are a reputable company, that you can be trusted, and go ahead, shop with me. Okay, so look up some apps for your store, because I did not know that, and now that I do, so I don't even know how many apps that I have on my store right now, but I do know that I have probably at least 10, if not more. It's at least 10 apps that I use, and these apps vary. Like some are free apps, and some I do pay the upgraded version, or some are just plain outright flat fee each month, and it's just billed each month with Shopify when they bill me for my what is it called? For my shipping labels. Had to look at it to remember. But yeah, so it's just billed each month. So yeah, look into different apps that you need for your site. And last but not least, number 5 top lesson I learned is, of course, regarding the pop-ups. And just make sure you choose pop-ups. If you do choose to do pop-ups, make sure you choose an event that makes sense for your business and that has your target audience there, and that will potentially, or hopefully, that audience there will be there to shop and not just see nice pretty celebrities and get autographs and things like that. Those are the top 5 lessons that I have learned this first year in business. It has been quite a journey, and it is a journey that I am still on, and I'm just gonna bring y'all along with me, because why not? We can learn together, and I can just share stuff as I learn myself, because I truly believe that it's a bunch of other aspiring entrepreneurs out there who just may not know what to expect, may not know what they need, may not know where to start, and may be too afraid to step out on faith. So I want to be here and be that person to be like, girl, boy, go for it. Like, don't sit idle and just be unhappy in whatever job that you're in. I'm all about going after your dreams and creating the life that you want to live. So let's do that together, y'all. So if y'all have any questions or want to know anything else about my first year as a business owner, just drop the question in the comments below, and I will be sure to come back and answer them. And if I think of other things, I will come back and I'll be sharing many more videos, I'm sure, because like I said, this is a journey that I am still on, and I am still growing and learning each and every day, and I just want to share it with everybody else too. So I hope this video was informative to y'all. I hope you learned something, and if it was, let me know, and I will catch y'all in the next video.